Last week, the Walnut Hills Eagles finally ended one of the longest losing streaks in all of Ohio, defeating Western Hills in dominant fashion 30-8. No time to rest, though, as they set their sights on a new target, the ECC Gauntlet. Their first matchup of the year couldn't be tougher. They have the defending champions to deal with, the Milford Eagles. It's the annual Battle of the Eagles here at Mark Stadium, and after a 1-hour rain delay, we're about ready to start. Milford is led by eighth-year head coach Tom Grippa, who and last season had a magical year to remember, undefeated in the regular season. Unfortunately, the architect of that season, quarterback Luke Brand, suffered an injury in Week 10, which two rounds of the playoffs later resulted in a Milford loss to Mason. They look to reprise that in Brand's senior year. And they're off to a strong start, as last week they got to a running clock in the third quarter against Edgewood, as Brand threw for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game. His favorite target in that game was wideout Caden Bailey, who played quarterback in Brand's absence during the playoffs. Bailey caught 10 passes for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. Keeping him and Brand in check will be priority number 1 for this Walnut defense. The warm-up clock down to about 2 minutes now as the Eagles stay huddled on the field. They're spending an hour in the locker room. Starting defense is doing their drills now. Milford fans traveled well to this game, as they always do. Nuthouse is nearly split 50-50, and when the Milford team ran out on the field about 10 minutes ago, there was very loud applause. I even see some banners hanging over their side. Milford leads this series overall 13 wins to Walnut's 4 since 1980. And they've won each of the last 3 matchups in the series. Walnut's last win came in 2019. They beat them 35-6. Last year, Milford got the win 41-7. Walnut looking up to pull off a very big upset win and move to 2-0 on the season, as well as snap a 24-game losing streak in ECC conference play. In addition, a win here would very nearly lock in a ticket to the 2024 playoffs for these Eagles. A win over the conference champions would be very beneficial to this team. Countdown clock expires, and the Walnut Hills Eagles, wearing their home yellow uniforms, will head to the sidelines. Milford, the visitors, in their road whites with red trim. And that was the always excellent Walnut Hills Marching Blue and Gold delivering our national anthem. Walnut Hills won the coin toss. They elected to defer, and so Luke Brand and this Milford offense will get first crack with the football. Walnut will get it in the second half. Ball is placed on the 40-yard line. Kicker Colin Ross steps back. Whistle sounds. Ross approaches the ball. Kicks it with his right foot. It's a low kick. It's off a Milford defender. Scrambling to the ball. Walnut's come up with it. That's Jeremiah Thornton. First play of the game. Colin Ross kicked it off a Milford defender. It caromed back toward the Eagles, and Jeremiah Thornton comes up with the football. Walnut offense will be out there to start this game. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but wow. So Walnut will get the ball on their own 45 as they just stole a possession to start this game. Walnut lines up in the I formation. Simeon Robinson, the fullback, and Ty Austin, who had 124 yards last week on the ground at halfback. Jeremiah Thornton out wide and Bronson out left. They hand to Robinson. He goes straight at the middle, and he'll be tackled pretty quickly after a gain of about 4 by defensive back Landon Garton. Second down and 6 for this Walnut Hills offense. They line up in a double wing formation with Austin and Jeremiah Thornton on the wings. Robinson behind Rivers. They send Thornton in motion, and Rivers will pull back and now will run it. He is not going to get very much, and the ball comes out at the end of the play. Rivers fumbled it, and Milford's come up with it. Rivers pulled the ball back from Robinson, rolled out to the left, got hit, and could not hold on to the football. And Walnut's first possession ends in a turnover, just like last week. First snap of the game for Milford. Luke Brand gets it and hands it off to Jordan Davis, who gets spun around and tackled right around the Walnut 45. Second and 6 after Jordan Davis picked up 4. Brandon, heavy set, one running back on each side. Brand hands it off. This one's to Evans, and he's tackled quickly. Brought down on that play by defensive back Christian Parker Rowe. Evans brought down for almost no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Brand has not yet attempted a pass. They line up in a single set. Brand, quick throw, goes right side. Caught. That's a 1st down and more. Along the right side goes wide receiver David Kittrell. And that'll give a 1st down for Milford up to about the 31. That quick passing game is how Luke Brand loves to operate this offense. And he showed it off right there. 1st down, Milford. Brand back to pass again. He looks left, he throws deep. He wants Bailey, and Bailey catches it and runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford. He was double covered by defensive backs Braylon Dennis and Jordan Harris. It did not matter as Luke Brand fitted in a tight window and connects with Caden Bailey for a 33-yard touchdown. That gives Milford the first score of the game at 6-0. On for the extra point is Milford kicker Mason Cooper, ranked the top kicker in the preseason, 3 of 4 last week, and it's a low snap. Cooper still boots it through the uprights, and Milford's lead is 7-0 with 9:29 to play in the first quarter. That was a dot. So Walnut Hills stole a possession, but were not able to do anything with it. And Milford only needed 4 plays to get all the way down the field and score a touchdown. It's now their turn to kick off as Walnut has 2 kickoff returners deep. On the left, Mark Brunson, and Malachi Lures on the right. Whistle sounds. Cooper approaches the ball and kicks it with his right foot. Going to go to about the 4. Bronson backpedals and lets it go into the end zone for a touchback. There are not a lot of high school kickers that can put the ball into the end zone on the fly. Mason Cooper booted at about 62 yards. Walnut will start in the 20. And Will Rivers in this Walnut Hills offense will come up for their second drive. Rivers threw a number of very nice passes last week, but did have a problem with keeping the ball with the Eagles. He had 2 interceptions in the first quarter and probably should have had a third if not for a strong play by Lures. They line up in a spread formation with Robinson behind Rivers, 2 receivers each side. Rivers back to pass. He rolls out to the right. Throws across his body, caught by Thornton, and Jeremiah Thornton tackled after a gain of about 9.5. First pass completion for Rivers, and Thornton, who caught 3 passes last week, picks up 9 here. It'll be 2nd and 1. Walnut huddles up as Cade Fightmaster runs in with a play from the sideline. Walnut lines up in a trip sponge to the left with Austin on the wing and 2 others wide left. They send Austin in motion, and now they pitch it to Austin on the left side. He's got to do a lot of work. He gets out the side to the 30 and crosses to the 35, and that's where he's tackled. Securing the first down for Walnut, Ty Austin on the rush. Austin picked up 7 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Walnut 36. Rivers lines up in the I, Robinson the fullback, and Jeremiah Thornton the halfback. Austin and Bronson wide right. Rivers hands it to Thornton, going right side, and Thornton can't find a hole. He falls forward for a couple of yards and nothing more. Sightmaster trots back to the sideline. They will give Thornton 2 yards on that carry. It's 2nd and 8. Joshua Thornton enters the game. He caught his first career touchdown last week, and he is alone to the left as Walnut sends a trips bunch to the right in their four receiver set. Robinson behind Rivers. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. He rolls out to the right. Rivers pressured and throws to the right side. It's caught by Austin at the 50, and that's where he's taken down by defensive back Preston Werther, but Austin secures another Walnut Hills first down. No, they will not give it to him. They say Austin got tackled right at the 45. It'll be third down at about 1. Fightmaster enters the game at tight end. He goes wide out to the left as Walnut sets up in a double wing formation. 7 men on the line. Robinson behind Rivers. Thornton in motion. Rivers, bad snap. Ball's on the ground, and Walnut fell on it. That was Simeon Robinson making the alert play, but they are not going to convert that 3rd and 1. They'll go backwards about 5 or 6 yards. It'll be 4th down, and on comes the punt team. So Walnut gets a first down, but a botched snap on 3rd and 1 kills the drive. They'll punt it back to Milford. Milford, 2 receivers deep. Carter Ings and Tim Dick, both seniors. Back to return the punt from Colin Ross. He gets the snap. Ross back to punt. It's a high kick. Ings fields. Ings will actually let it bounce, and now will run toward it and just let Walnut down. There's a scramble for the ball. Did a Milford player touch it? Looks like no, but they will get pretty good field position as Ings did not field it, instead let it roll and took a friendly bounce. First and 10 at about the Milford 19. Leule Mesvin enters the game, as well as Xander Hargis, who was injured last week. Glad to see he's doing okay. Mark Bronson also in to play some defensive back. At Jordan Harris at free safety. First and 10 for Milford. Brand hands it off. Going right side, Jordan Davis. He's got a big hole. Throw the right side, past the 30, and he's taken down at about the 35 by defensive back Braylon Dennis. As the Milford defensive line cleared a big hole, we got a whistle. First and 10 for Milford at about the 37-yard line. Eagle defense looking for some answers. Brand going to hand it to Davis again. He's got another hole through the left side, and he's met by Hargis and a couple of other defenders. Cade Fightmaster also there. Be about 4 or 5 yards for Jordan Davis. Second down. Ball spotted at the 41. It'll be second down and 5. Milford goes trips right, 1 receiver to the left, matched up heavily with Braylon Dennis as Jordan Davis and Brand in the backfield. Brand's back to pass. Brand's going to look long for Bailey. Brand puts it on the money. Bailey is going to grab it and run all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford. Dennis lost his rep. The free safety support was not there, and Brand once again put it on the money to Bailey. It's 13-0 Milford. 2 catches for Bailey, both for touchdowns, his 4th and 5th touchdowns of this season. He is locked in to start this 2024 campaign. Cooper on for the extra point into the hold of Avery Faulkner. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is perfect. And it's 14-0 in favor of Milford. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Eagles. This one took just 3 plays to go 81 yards to the house. Mason Cooper places the ball on the tee. Whistle blows and the Milford formation spreads out. Cooper approaches the ball. He kicks with his right foot. High kick will go toward Bronson, and he will just let it go over his head. That one rolls out of the end zone. Another great kickoff from Mason Cooper. Will pin Walnut back at the 20. Before they come out, Walnut offense going to retreat onto the sidelines. So they're looking for guidance from Coach Miles and offensive coordinator Justin Beers, and now here they come. It's not really been good defense, more than been execution errors that have doomed Walnut so far. Walnut comes out in a single wing. Thornton's the wing. Robinson behind Rivers. One receiver right, two left. Thornton goes in motion. Rivers rolls left. He's going to just try to tuck it and run. Now pitches to Thornton, but Milford just swarms to the ball and tackles Jeremiah Thornton for a loss of 1. In on that stop was linebacker Jake Dixon. 2nd down and 11. Walnut put their option plays on film last week against Western Hills, and now I'm sure Tom Grippa spent some time in the film room with his defense. Just allows them to be swarmy. 2nd down and 11 as the first quarter clock's under 4 minutes. Walnut comes out in a pistol, 2 receivers each side. Robinson behind Rivers. 2nd and 11. Rivers back to pass. Pressure coming. Rivers throws over the middle. It is caught. That's Austin. Past the 35 and taken down at about the 38. Make that Mark Bronson as he was tackled hard by safety Tim Dick. It's a 1st down for Walnut at about the 38. Rivers to Bronson. Had a 66-yard touchdown catch last week. Rivers looking sharp early. Just have to clean up those bad snaps. Brady Nolman, the center. Looks like Walnut's taken Stevie Gordon out of the game. Logan Cooper is now playing left tackle. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Rivers back to pass. Rivers got time, running out of it. Throws it deep down the left sideline. And it's intercepted. He was looking deep for Ty Austin. Milford got in position, couldn't see who got that. And that is now 2 out of 3 Walnut drives have ended with turnovers. 3rd pick of the year by Rivers. Got to clean those up. Milford offense comes back out there, and Walnut really just trying to look to stop number 4. They'll keep Dennis on him. They have been picking on Braylon Dennis. This time they hand it off, and Davis is not going to go very far. Walnut defense gets to him quickly and tackles him for no more than a couple of yards. Two-yard pickup on the play for Jordan Davis at 2nd and 8. Milford goes spread again. 2 receivers right, 2 left, and Davis off of Brand's left hip. Brand's going to look to throw it quickly. Now he's pressured. Flips it left side to Davis, who's got a pretty big lane, and he's tackled by defensive back Xander Hargis. After a pick of about 6 or 7, it'll be 3rd and short. Brand was pressured, but found his safety valve, and Davis was there to take the pitch for a couple more yards. 3rd down and 2. Ball on the Milford 42-yard line, and sure they want to take a shot another shot at Bailey soon with Dennis still matched up on him. They shade Bronson, the free safety, over toward his direction. Milford goes heavy on 3rd and 2. They hand to Davis. Davis finds a hole and more. Through the left side and taken down past the 50 by defensive back Xander Hargis. It'll be a first down for Milford. You can tell that Coach Grippa trusts all of his offensive players here in every situation. It's 1st and 10. Milford got to the line quickly, and now they'll look to the sideline and get the signals. Davis off Brand's right hip. 2 receivers, both bunched tight. Hand Davis. Davis finds a crease, and he's tackled after another good run by linebacker Jared Ross. As this Milford O-line has been really dominant. First down for Davis at the Walnut Hills 33. Under a minute to play in the first quarter as stay in the spread set again. 2 tight receivers each side. Last time they ran it out of this formation, but here Brand's back to pass. Brand's running out of time. Brand rolls out to the right, still buying more time and just going to run out of bounds as he was chased by Xander Hargis. Brand will pick about 4 yards. Good job of the Walnut Hills secondary to not let Brand find anything downfield. They'll give Brand 5 yards at the Walnut Hills 28, 2nd down and 5. Back to pass, no, he hands it off. Goes left side to the 25, 20. And still tough running, down to about the 12 as Walnut had to swarm the running back Malcolm Evans, who picked up 16 yards down to the Walnut Hills 12. Make it the 13. 13 seconds left in this first quarter clock. Milford looks in no hurry to snap the ball. They get to the line with 7 seconds as the chains are reset, 4 yards. Brand barking out orders with 2 seconds on the clock. They get the snap off. They hand it to Jordan Davis, running left side of the 10, through the middle of the field to the 5, and taken down at about the 3 by defensive back Jordan Harris. And that will be the final play of the first quarter as Milford offense just looks dominant through 1 quarter of play. Score at the end of 1, Milford 14, Walnut Hills 0. Walnut Hills marching blue and gold played a nice rendition of Sweet Caroline in between quarters. Walnut defense could use something sweet. As through 1 quarter of play, Milford has just run the ball up and down the field on them. 1st and goal, Milford from the 2. First play of the second quarter, Brand with Davis off his left hip. Brand hands Davis, running right side. And Davis is into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford. He was met about a yard too late by a Walnut defensive back, but he found his way into the end zone, and Milford's lead is extended to 20-0. Mason Cooper on for his third extra point try of the day, out of the hold of Avery Faulkner. Snap is good, hold is good, and Cooper puts it through the uprights. And that extends the Milford lead to 21-0. So, first play of this game, Walnut pulled a trick by bouncing it off of a Milford player. Since then, they have had almost nothing to show for it. Two touchdown passes from Brandon Bailey in the first quarter, and now a touchdown run for Jordan Davis in the second. Cooper and the Milford kickoff unit are out for their third kickoff of the day. As now Walnut's offense really has to look to play catch up, but first, they got to stop turning the ball over. They've done it on 2 of their 3 drives so far. Mason Cooper with the ball position at the 40 approaches, and Cooper's right-footed kick. Bronson runs over and will let it fly into the end zone, and Cooper has kicked it into the end zone every time so far. So, against West High, Walnut started their drives pretty far up the field often, but now it's the 20 every time. That's where you were after a touchback in high school. This game was delayed by an hour because of lightning in the area. And Walnut looks like they're still stuck in the past tense. Malachi Lures enters the game at wide receiver, going to trip sponge off the left side with Robinson off Rivers' left hip. Rivers takes the snap, back to pass. Rivers going to look to the left side for Lures, and he catches it. Goes down quickly as he was covered tightly by Milford defensive back Mario Sebastian. It's second down. Lures got about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. Make it 2nd and 5. Fortunately, the stadium scoreboard is not showing down in distance like they did in the West High game. Thornton re-enters the game. Lures stays in. Rivers back to pass. Rivers has time. Now he doesn't. Now he's running out. Pressure rolls to the left and just throws it. Caught by Austin, and he is hit hard by a Milford defender. Austin hauls that in and secures a Walnut Hills first down. Austin picked up about 11 yards on that catch. He had just 1 last week, but that's because he was doing all of his damage on the ground. They're going to need him to be a weapon through the air if they want to make this comeback happen. 1st and 10 from the Walnut 36. Rivers takes the snap. Quick pass goes right side. It's caught by Joshua Thornton, and he is taken down quickly after a gain of about 4. And these quick strikes are what are going to enable this Walnut offense to stay on the field. And more importantly, avoid turnovers, because that's the first step to getting in the end zone. Stevie Gordon re-enters the game at left tackle. He was out for a drive. Rivers still in the gun. Back to pass. Rivers rolls out left. Got some options, and he's running out of them. Rivers just chucks it across the middle, and that is nearly intercepted. He was looking for Malachi Lures, but Milford defensive back Christian Felix jumped the route and nearly had an interception. Instead, it'll be 2nd and 10. Make that 3rd and 5. I forgot a play happened. You gotta wonder if Coach Miles wants a drive to continue, that he'll try and go for it on 4th down in their own territory. 3 receivers left, 1 right. They subbed Joshua Thornton out of the game to bring Bronson back in. 3rd and 5. Rivers drops back left, throws left, wants Austin, and it is nowhere close, as he was tightly covered by Milford defensive back Tim Dick. It's 4th down. And Awana will bring in their punt team. Just an inaccurate ball from Rivers, as Austin broke inside and Rivers threw it outside. Punt team will rush on for the Eagles. It is Dawes Hardin alongside Joshua Thornton, and Ross gets the snap, back to punt, gets it away to the 30, and it'll roll and take a friendly bounce off of a Milford player, but it's quickly fallen on by Carter Ings of Milford at about the 26. So a good punt from Colin Ross and nearly a miscue. Milford offense has scored on all 3 drives so far. And this Walnut defense needs to find some answers. Have not seen linebacker Jonathan Jackson enter the game. He was injured a couple of times last week, maybe sitting out. Instead, it's Eli Newman and Leule Mesfin at those linebacker roles. Milford, 2 receivers right, 2 left, including Caden Bailey. 1st and 10 from the Milford 26. And someone jumped. It was like Malcolm Evans for Milford, who jumped and started running his route. He got a clear 5-10 yards down the field. Unfortunately, the ball had not been snapped yet, and that'll back Milford up 5 yards, 1st and 15. They stay in the same formation, 2 bunches each side. Hoskins motioning men around on the right. 1st and 15. Brand hands Davis. Davis goes left side and falls forward after a strong run. Picks up about 6 or 7 on 1st and 15 and 2nd down. Charles Swift now enters the game at linebacker. We have a penalty on Walnut. 15-yard pickup for Milford on that penalty from the end of the run. We'll give them a fresh set of downs. Couldn't begin to see where that penalty was. (21-0) with 9:15 to play in the 2nd quarter. 1st and 10 for Milford from their own 45-yard line. Brand back to pass. Pressure coming, and he finds Davis on the right flank. Cuts back across the field to the 45 to the 40. Davis out to the 35, and he is hit hard by a Walnut defender. That was Jared Ross. But not before a big gain for Jordan Davis on a quick pass to the right side by Luke Brand. Ball is spotted on the Walnut 35. It's 1st and 10 for Milford. Jordan Davis and Caden Bailey have just been extremely impressive at those two skill positions. Brand back to pass again. He's pressure, he throws left side, goes Bailey to the 30. Bailey to the 25, cuts middle of the field to the 20. Bailey still on his feet and finally taken down in the red zone by a Walnut defensive back. But another chunk gain on a short pass. From the MO of Milford, although they got Walnut rattled from those long passes to Bailey, and now they're dissecting them with short throws. 1st and 10, Milford lines up in a 2-back formation. Brand's back to pass, tosses right side toward the end zone, and it is incomplete, as there was good coverage on that play by Mark Bronson, as the pass was intended for Andrew Crouch, tight end. 2nd down and 10. Brand barks out some orders, 3 trips right, Bailey alone to the left. Brand, and we got a whistle before the snap. Looks like we got another Milford player who jumped, and that'll set him back 5 yards. It's 2nd down and 15. Brand back to pass. Looks right, he's pressured, and he just throws it into the ground as Braylon Coleman came screaming down toward him. Brand just dirted it, and it'll be 3rd and long for Milford, as Walnut finally had the chance to get a stop. Braylon Coleman had his first career sack last week, and now got a nice pressure on that play. Third down and 15 as Brand stands in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, including Bailey. One left. Brand throws right side, tipped, and it is caught. That's Carter Ings on the catch, knocked out of bounds by Braylon Dennis. And they're calling it a 1st down. No. 4th down. Down and distance marker. They needed confirmation before they were going to send the field goal unit out there. So Walnut's defense, for the first time in this game, gets a stop, and they'll force a field goal attempt for Milford. Tom Gripper's going to call a timeout to talk things over here. I don't know if much knife twisting is needed here. It's about 4th and 5 after the catch by Ings. Cooper walking out into the field, and Milford will attempt a field goal. So Walnut Hills defense will get a stop for the first time this game. As Mason Cooper will attempt a field goal from the left hash. It will be about a 27-yard try. Cooper ranked as the best kicker by the Enquirer preseason in the conference. Snap good, hold is good. Cooper puts it through the uprights. Kick is good for Cooper. He is 3 for 3 extra points and hit a 27-yard kick, but Walnut holds Milford to 3 for the first time all game. It's 24-0 in favor of the visitors. Mason Cooper has absolutely been a star of tonight's proceedings. As much as Caden Bailey and Jordan Davis have tore it up, Cooper has pinned Walnut deep all 3 of his kickoffs, and he's made all 4 of his kicks. Good kicker goes a long way in high school, and I think Milford might have a tough time replacing this guy. Whistle blows, and Cooper approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. It's a high one. Bronson will once again let it go into the end zone, and that one was almost out of the end zone. 4 touchbacks for Mason Cooper. Walnut will start a 4th consecutive drive from the 20. The only drive they didn't start at the 20 was the surprise pooch kick at the start of the game. Walnut offense will come back out in their double wing formation, which they've mostly abandoned as they've gone down. 1 receiver each side. They send Austin in motion. Rivers will just hand it off to Robinson, and he will find a little bit of a hole through the line for about 5, maybe 4. Puts Walnut in front of the chains. It'll be 2nd down and about. Looks like they did not give him much. They gave him 2. 2nd down and 8. Walnut will sub in a player. Malachi Lures comes back into the game. And Walnut breaks the huddle. 2nd down and 7. Trips receivers right, 1 left as Robinson off of Rivers' left-hand hip. Takes the snap, back to pass. Got time. Rivers going to launch it deep on the left sideline, and it's incomplete. He overthrew his intended target. Ty Austin tried to fit it in a really tight window as he was guarded by defensive back Isaiah Carranza. 3rd and long. Rivers and Austin has been a sharp combination through the second half of last year and the start of this year, but that was a really difficult pass, although one we have seen the opposing quarterback today make. 3rd down and 7. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Rivers in the shotgun. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Rivers rolls left, buying time. Rivers throws for Thornton. He's got it at the 35, and he's got the 1st down. Tackle made by Christian Felix, but Joshua Thornton found a hole in the defense along the left sideline and got Walnut a fresh set of downs. That pass went 18 yards from Rivers to Thornton. Ball placed at the Walnut 41. Lures runs back onto the field with the play call. Walnut will stay in shotgun. Austin and Lures to the left and 2 others wide right with Simeon Robinson off of Rivers' left-hand hip. Back to pass. Rivers got time, now running out of it. Throws for the left sideline. Caught by Ty Austin at the 40 and fumbles the ball at the end of the play. Looks like they'll say he was down. Austin caught it and tried to make a cut for extra yards. And no, they will not say he is down. That is a fumble. Looked for a moment like Walnut's offense was staying on the field, but no. Austin caught it, cut to about the 38, and that's where he fumbled the football, and it was just him and 3 white jerseys. Austin did not win the battle. So a third drive for Walnut ends in a turnover out of their 5 total. 6:05 on the second quarter clock. Trips right, 1 receiver left, and Davis off of Brand's left-hand hip. Brand back to pass, pressure coming, it's a screen to Davis. He's got some room to work to the 40, to the 50. Davis to the 45, bounces off a defender and brought down at about the Walnut Hills 40 as that screen was set up beautifully. Finally knocked out of bounds by defensive back Jordan Harris. It'll be a big gain into Walnut territory. Looks like this one's coming back. Might have. Looks like they'll place the ball at the 43 of Milford. So it looks like they'll get a hold during the play. Couldn't see who it was on, but Milford has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 42. Same formation, trips left, 1 right. Davis off of Brand's left hip. And now we get a look to the sideline for the Milford offense. Brand snaps, hands Davis going left side. And Davis finds a hole through the left side. Off to the vendor to the 30. Davis cuts right side to the 20. And finally taken down. Jordan Harris was blocked out of the play. And support arrived in the form of Xander Hargis, but not before a big gain for the Milford offense. And we got a player down. Back at about the 48. An injured Eagle. Looks like it's Deshaun Hoskins. One had gone mostly injury-free despite all of these missed tackles and blocks. 5:41 mark in the second quarter. That is no longer the case. They'll finally help the player to a sitting position and up. Hoskins walking slowly off the field and favoring his right leg. Walking mostly under his own power, but that's a guy who had a couple of very disruptive tackles in the West High game. Walks off the field now. And Walnut's depth at safety and defensive back will be tested. In any case, Milford gets the ball in the red zone after that big run by Jordan Davis. 2-back set for Milford. Davis and Evans on opposite sides of Brand. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Brand hands Evans, running right side of the 15, and that's where he is taken out as the Milford defensive lineman pushed the pile forward a couple of yards as Braylon Coleman made that tackle. Second down at about 4. That push at the end from that Milford O-line really saved that play. Milford spreads it out, trips wide, trips left, 1 right. Davis off of Brand's left hip. Brand's going to have a draw play to Davis, running out the middle of the 5. Davis is taken down at about the 3, and now looks like they push the pile forward again, and the referees are signaling touchdown Milford as Jordan Davis looked like he was stopped short, had some extra effort from him in the Milford O-line, and he found the end zone. It's touchdown Milford. Extends their lead to 30-0. Not been a good night for this Walnut defense. They have let up 4 touchdowns and a field goal in Milford's 5 drives. Mason Cooper on for the extra point. And it's a low one, but it does put it through the uprights. That extends Milford's lead to 31-zip with 4:45 to play in the second quarter. Now, the running clock does not start, I believe, until the fourth quarter. I could be wrong. But if the running clock happened in the first half, it would be active right now as Milford's lead is ballooned to 31-0. Walnut was on the friendly end of the running clock last week. Here they have fallen back down to earth. Second touchdown run of the day for Jordan Davis, and his second of the season. Did not have any in Milford's win against Edgewood. All those touchdowns came by Luke Brand, 4 passing and 1 rushing. Mason Cooper approaches the ball and kicks with his right foot. It's another high one, and Bronson will field this one at about the 1. He'll run it out, and they'll say he stepped into the end zone. That's another touchback. Milford kicked it to about the 1. Bronson fielded it, but stepped into the end zone for a touchback. So for a 5th straight drive, Walnut will start at their own 20-yard line. Walnut offense back out there, 2 receivers each side as they line up in the shotgun. They have largely gone away from the variety of concepts from last week. Rivers back to pass. Quick toss goes left side, Jeremiah Thornton, and he's taken down hard at about the 24 for a short gain. Second down and 6. And Miles has largely liked those quick passes on the first play. It doesn't usually get them much, but it does keep them in front of the chains, gives them an open playbook on 2nd and 6. They have not run the ball very much. Lures alone to the left, 3 receivers out to the right. Robinson off of Rivers' left hip. And he's back to pass. He rolls out right, getting some good blocks, motioning men around, and finds a guy. Joshua Thornton makes the catch and runs through about the 36, securing a Walnut first down. As he continues to make his presence felt in this sophomore season. First and 10 from out the Walnut 34-yard line. 2 receivers out left, 2 right. Rivers in the gun, takes the snap, rolls left now. Rivers going to look left and tries to find Lures. He reached out for it with one hand. And it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. Waited a while to see from where I'm standing, the Milford sideline, unfortunately, obscures the ref's call, so I had to see where the down marker and where the ball will be placed. It's placed at the 34, second down and 10. Lures almost made a very nice catch. 3 receivers go to the left, 1 to the right. As Milford creeps out of the line, blitzing. Pass goes left side, Thornton. He's got some room to work to the 35 to the 40, and he's taken down hard at about the 41 by linebacker Jake Dixon. but that short pass picks up about 7 yards and makes it a manageable third down for Walnut Hills from their own 41. Milford subs in defensive lineman Jacob Christopherson, 6'4", 200, very tall line all around for Milford. 2 receivers left, 2 right, third down and 3. Rivers gun. Back to pass, low snap, picks it up, and fires down the middle of the field, and he overthrows his man, Mark Bronson. He had him in between the safety and defensive back. Those were Carter Ings and Avery Faulkner. Unfortunately, just could not fit in that tight pass that would have gone for about 20. Walnut brings down the punt team with 2:38 to play. Two returners back deep for Milford. These are Carter Ings and Tim Dick. Punt. Ross back to punt. High kick goes to about the 30, where it's fielded by Ings. He runs to the 35, cuts right side to the 40. Ings off a defender to the 45 to the 50, and he's finally tackled by defensive back Xander Hargis at about midfield. Milford will have 2:28 to score some more points before halftime. They lead 31-0. Ball is spotted at the about right on the midfield stripe. And Brand is looking to the sideline, and we're going to get a timeout called before any play happens. Ball is spotted at the Walnut Hills 49 with 2:28 to play in the half. Milford has scored 4 touchdowns, 2 from Luke Brand to Caden Bailey, and 2 rushing touchdowns by Jordan Davis. That the Walnut timeout comes to an end. They have 2 remaining in the half. I imagine we won't see much of the Milford first team offense in the second half, assuming the score stays as is. Milford lines up in a 2-back set. Hoskins comes back out there. That's good. So looks like he's managed to avoid major injury. Brand back to pass. Brand tosses across the middle into double coverage, and that pass is incomplete. It falls in front of his intended target, Caden Bailey. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Bailey looking to have a very impressive senior season and get on some college watch lists. Right now, the 24/7 Sports rankings have 8 ECC players in their top Ohio prospects. None of those players play for Milford or Walnut. They're all at Anderson, Winton Woods, or Kings. 2nd down and 10. Brand with just going to hand it off to Davis on a draw play, and Davis is going to be brought down from behind after a gain of about 5. Braylon Coleman had him tracked, but still took a while to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd and manageable for the Milford offense. Clock under 2 minutes. Third down and 5, as Evans, now off of Brand's left hip, as out of the game for the first time is Davis. Brand back to pass. Quick toss goes right side, and it is caught. Sprinting and trying to get there is wide receiver David Kittrell, and he's going to have enough for a Milford first down. He caught it about the 41 and cut inside for a few extra yards to about the Walnut 37. Milford quickly to the line. Evans off of Brand's right hip, 2 receivers each side. 1:20 to play in the half. Brand back to pass. Brand's got time. He's just going to toss it short. Goes to Ings, and Ings breaks a tackle and then gets upended by defensive back Xander Hargis. Picked up about 7 or 8 on that play. Make it a first down. Ings got to about the 25 as the clock ticks under a minute to play in the half. 3 receivers right, 1 left. That's Bailey. 52 to play. Brand takes the snap, hands Evans going left side. Evans breaks down the cuts to the middle of the field. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Milford. As he had nothing but white jersey and daylight in front of him after he hit the 15, cut back to the middle, and scored Milford's 5th touchdown of the half. With 45 seconds to play in the second, Milford's lead is 37-0. Cooper back for the extra point out of the hold of Faulkner. He puts it to the uprights, and it's 38-0 in favor of Milford. Safe to say that Walnut, this is not how Walnut wanted their first game after the end of the streak to go. Coach Miles talked in a pregame interview with Tri-State Football about how he was disappointed that the heat wave kind of killed some of their momentum because it meant they couldn't practice outdoors as much, but doesn't feel like that practice would have helped a ton against this Milford team that just looks like a machine right now. They have scored in all 6 of their drives, 5 for touchdowns, 1 for a field goal, and Walnut has had 6 drives. They have fumbled twice. Rivers have thrown 1 pick, and 3 others have ended in punts. Two returners deep for Walnut. Bronson and Lewis. Whistle blows, and Mason Cooper approaches the ball and kicks it with his right foot. Another booming kick, and that Bronson will not even try to field that one. It'll be Mason Cooper's 6th touchback on 6 kickoffs. .45 seconds to play in the half. Walnut could go for points. They may also just kneel it out. Not been the kind of night that Will Rivers wants. He has a lost fumble and an interception. Has had some decent throws, but haven't had those home run balls he so desires. Double wing set for Walnut, 2 receivers wide right. They send him in motion. Rivers just hands it off to Robinson up the middle. He'll get no more than 5. Clock ticks down to 37 seconds, and neither Coach Miles nor Coach Grip are eager to use their timeouts to extend the length of this half. Robinson picked up 3 at 2nd and 7 if Walnut wants to continue this drive. Clock at 20 seconds and counting. Walnut huddled up as the clock goes to 8. They will not snap the ball, and that will be the end of the first half. As the defending conference champions have come to Mark Stadium and looked the part. They scored on all 6 of their drives, and they lead Walnut Hills by a score of 38-0. You're listening to Walnut Hills Football on the Sportscasting Channel. Welcome back from Mark Stadium, where at the half, Walnut Hills trails the Milford Eagles 38-0. Time now to go to scores around the city. The games were staggered around because of the lightning delays, several different games. The only game with a final, Anderson knocks off West Claremont 51-7. West Claremont had a big win last week over Mount Healthy, but that momentum did not carry over. At the half, Turpin up on Little Miami 14-0. Winton Woods leads Kings 12-5. Both of Winton Woods' scores came on at pick sixes, so nothing from their offense. And Lebanon leads Loveland 10-7. That game is in the early second quarter. Around other conferences, Fairfield leads Coleraine by a score of 21-13 at the half. Coleraine looking to snap a pretty double-digit losing streak of their own. Lakota East leads Mason 7-6. They are also looking at bounce back from a poor season last year, looking good now. Princeton leads Sycamore 24-0. That game is nearing halftime. And Lakota West, fresh off a dominant win over St. X, they're doing it again. They lead Hamilton 24-0. Middletown leads Oak Hills, set by a score of 14-7. That game is at the half. And Northmont against LaSalle. The lightning storm supposedly knocked out power to the scoreboard in LaSalle Stadium, so the updates are not coming in as fast from that game. But last we saw, LaSalle was up 13-0 against the Thunderbolts. That game was in the early second quarter. St. Xavier dominating Centerville. They lead 34-3 in the fourth quarter. And Withrow traveling north to Archbishop Alter. That game is tied at 6 at the half. Next, let's talk about what this Walnut team has to do, because that first half was very uninspiring compared to what we saw last week. Walnut did not go back to the locker room after that first half. They just, for pretty much the entire halftime break, sat in a corner of the north end zone, all huddled up in a circle, trying to figure out what went wrong in that 38-0 quarter, and not having the answer be everything. Now they're doing their customary post-halftime warm-ups. They'll take the field in about 4 minutes. Walnut Hills trails Milford 38-0. We will come back when the second half action kicks off on the Sportscasting channel. We are about ready for third quarter action to get underway. Walnut's starting kickoff team is still out there. So is Mason Cooper, who had an absolutely dominant first half, as dominant as you can get for a kicker. Put all of his kicks into the end zone and converted all 6. of his place kicks. Bronson Lures are the two returners back deep in the north end zone as Walnut looks to rebound from a very disappointing half. Cooper approaches the ball, kicks with his right leg, and it's a high one. Bronson will field it about the 3, and this time he'll return it to the 10. Bronson cuts middle of the field to the 15, Bronson to the 20, and that's about all. No, he keeps going. Bronson up to about the 25, and that's where he's taken down by a horde of Milford defenders, but it's better field position than Walnut's gotten most drives, as now it's the second half, and Milford's got a 30-point lead. We are doing the running clock. Walnut will only have about 24 minutes to score some points and break this shutout. Rivers comes out with Robinson off his left hip and 2 receivers each side. Ty Austin's day may be done. He's down so much they don't want to risk him getting injured. Rivers back to pass, tosses right side. It is over the head of his intended target, Jeremiah Thornton. Had his man, but overthrew him, and second down and 10 as the clock runs. At this point, you just want to get out of this game with a respectable second half and avoid any major injuries, so you can be ready for Turpin next week. Turpin, one of the 3 opponents Walnut lost by 20 or less to last year. That's respectable, but they kept it close. Rivers in the shotgun, 2 left, 2 right. Rivers back to pass again. Rivers will roll out to the right and throw it to the right, and he will throw it well wide of his intended target, Jeremiah Thornton. There was almost no room to fit that pass in, and it's third down and 10. Third down and 10, ball on about the 24. Walnut looking to extend this drive. Keep the ball around. Rivers back to pass. Hands off Robinson. Draw play, and he's tackled quickly. As Robinson had a small hole, but that was plugged quickly by a Milford defensive back. That is sophomore Chase Gale, and Walnut will go 3 and out on their first drive of the second half. Colin Ross back to punt on about 4th and 5. Ross has had a solid day punting, but hasn't gotten a chance to show off his leg kicking. He kicks it to about the 40, and it is fair caught by Milford defensive back Tim Dick. Clock continues to run. Let's see what offensive personnel Milford will bring out there. 38-0 lead, no need to risk Brand, but they may still want to use him for 1 drive in the second half, as Milford has tougher tests ahead. I believe next week they travel to Winton Woods. I could be wrong. I did not check their schedule. And yeah, Luke Brand will not be going out there. New quarterback for Milford will be sophomore Jaden Bodley, and he lines up with Malcolm Evans off his left hip. Bodley will probably get this entire second half against Walnut's starting defense. Evans motions out to the backfield. Bodley will have a quick pass up the middle, and that is incomplete. It was at the feet of Milford freshman receiver Nolan Birch. It'll be 2nd and 10. Bodley. Shotgun, 2 left, 2 right. Bodley hands off Evans, who runs left side and gets tackled quickly, and the ball comes out and Walnut pounces on it. They've got the football. And for the first time all night, Walnut holds Milford without points on a drive. They'll have the ball in plus territory. Couldn't begin to see who forced that. It may have been Jared Ross. He's forced 2 fumbles last week on the far sideline. Clock stops for the change of possession, and the Walnut offense will trot out there. Ball placed on the Milford 40. So it'll be good field position for this offense. Rivers sets them on the gun. 3 receivers left and 1 to the right. Rivers back to pass. Rivers looks left and throws right. He's got a man down there. It's caught, and it is dropped. Oh, no. Mark Bronson. Rivers put a dime on there to Bronson, and for the 2nd straight week, Bronson drops a walk-in touchdown. That would have been a 40-yard dime that would have put Walnut on the board instead of 2nd and 10. Bronson, beautiful ball from Rivers. It hit Bronson right in the hands, and he juggled it, and it fell down in the end zone. Shame of a play there. Walnut could have broken the shutout. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 as Ty Austin continues to play on the sideline. Rivers shotgun, 3 left, 1 right. As they'll probably go vanilla for most of this game. Milford blitzes and Rivers throws it quick left side, goes to Thornton. He makes a man miss to the 30. He's down to the 33 and down to the 29. Goes Joshua Thornton, and he picks up a Walnut first down. A gain of 11 for number 11. And Walnut inches closer to the end zone. Make it 12 as ball is spotted on the 28. Walnuts run 4 receivers most of this half. It's been Bronson, both Thorntons, and Malachi Lures. Now they'll bring in a new face. This is Dawes Harden. Maybe? No. Not Dawes Harden. Rivers back deep. Throws for Bronson on the right sideline, and Bronson comes down with a spectacular catch. No, they'll say he was out of bounds. Really looked from this angle like Bronson had it. Oh, my. Rivers found Bronson on the right sideline. He hung onto it, but ref signaled that he was out of bounds. It really looked like he had it. Receiver coming in for Walnut was Jason Nicholas, Jr. He's still out there. 2 straight plays that looked like could have been touchdowns for Mark Bronson. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Rivers, he's back to pass again. Rolls right, throws right. Caught by Thornton at the 25. Moved to the 20 and taken down at about the 18-yard line by Milford defensive back Avery Faulkner. It'll be a first down, another one for Joshua Thornton, having a good drive. Thornton got exactly the 10 yards needed to the Milford 18. Wanted to enter the red zone for the first time today. Nicholas and Thornton wide left. Thornton and Bronson wide right as Rivers lines up in the pistol. Rivers back to pass, blitz is on. Rivers rolls left and just throws it to the sideline, and it's tipped out of bounds, looking for Thornton. He was double covered. That play did not have much of a chance of being completed, and a Milford player is slow to get up. And he's going to lie down. Milford, we have an injury on the Milford Eagles. Running clock is paused at 4:08 to play in the 3rd quarter for an injury timeout. Thankfully, this game has been much more injury-free compared to what we saw in that physical battle against West High last week. And for heaven's sakes, you hope there's not anyone important, or anyone really, taken out for a long period of time in a 38-0 blowout. Getting to his feet is senior defensive lineman Evan Bradshaw, and he will walk off the field mostly under his own power. Didn't take very long for him to get up. Hopefully he's okay. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Walnut from the Milford 18. As Bradshaw is supported by his fellow mate Hester Rush before he comes out to play this snap for Milford. We have a penalty that was committed that was half the distance to the goal. I couldn't see what it was, but it brings Walnut to the 9. So it's 1st and 10 from the 9. Rivers gets the snap and rolls out left. Rivers throws back across his body. That's intercepted. Oh, it's dropped. Rivers threw it right to a Milford defensive back, linebacker Carson Donovan. He was not ready for Rivers to just throw it right to him. 2nd down and 10. 2nd and goal, rather. So, Rivers wanted to find Joshua Thornton, who was behind Donovan, but Rivers did not put enough air under that one. 2nd down and goal. Lures and Thornton wide left. Thornton and Brunson wide right. Rivers back to pass, hands off Robinson, and he is tackled immediately. That's a big tackle for loss made by Sam Scally, Milford linebacker. It'll be 3rd and long as Walnut looks to punch it into the end zone. Running clock goes under 3 minutes for the 3rd quarter. This may be Walnut's last drive of the game, depending on how their defense does. Rivers back to pass. And he throws across the middle. It is broken up. Bronson had it for a moment, but then the ball squirted out as good coverage was put on by Milford defensive back Isaiah Carranza. It's 4th down and goal. Walnut offense is staying out there. Robinson gets the play from the sideline. 4th and goal from the Milford 11. And the offense is staying out there. Walnut looks to break the shutout by getting into the end zone. Rivers in a pistol. Milford crowds the line and they blitz. Rivers rolls out left. He has to dodge a guy, and he gets past another one. Rivers throws right side in. It is tipped and incomplete. It was in the direction of receiver Malachi Lures, but Lures could not track the tip. And Walnut's best drive of the day ends without points. 1:41 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The score remains 38-0 in favor of Milford. Sophomore quarterback Jaden Bodley runs out there for his 2nd drive of the game. Most of Milford's important contributors, Bailey, Davis, Brand, their days are all done. 1st and 10 from the 11. Evans off the right hip of Bodley. And they'll look to the sideline now. Clock is running. Evans ships to Bodley's left hip. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Bodley hands Evans, goes up the middle of the 10, out to about the 15, and that's where he is taken down at about the 16. As Eli Newman was in on that tackle. It'll be 2nd and short. Make it 2nd and about 5. Now into the game at safety, Dawes Harden, as Walnut starts to put in some of their backups and sure that they have a fresh set of legs for next week. And they sneak up to the line. Other contributors like Jared Ross and Braylon Coleman are still in there. 2nd and 5. Bodley back to pass. Pressure coming from Coleman. He rolls out to the right. Bodley finds a man across the middle, and it is hit hard. Joey Dahmer made the catch for a gain of 9, but then he paid with a big hit from defensive back Christian Parker Rowe. Secures the 1st down at the Milford 25-yard line, and that will most likely put an end to the 3rd quarter. With the running clock active, a pretty uneventful quarter. Milford still leads Walnut 38-0. 12 minutes to play in this one. You're watching Walnut Hills football on the Sportscasting Channel. 12 minutes left to play in this one as the field flips and Milford's backups have the ball at their own 25-yard line against a mishmash of defensive players for the Eagles. Bodley, 2 left, 2 right. Bodley back to pass. He's going to look to the right sideline, makes the catch at the 30, and jukes by a defender to the 35, and that's where the receiver is run out of bounds. That was Joey Dahmer. It'll be a Milford first down. Looks like they'll spot it just short, actually, at the 32-yard line. 2nd and 3 for Milford. Running clock down to 11:24. 2nd and 3, Bodley hands off Evans, goes left side, and he's taken down quickly. A nice tackle made there by Walnut Hills linebacker Cam Fightmaster, younger brother of Cade. It'll be no gain for Evans. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Cam Fightmaster largely overlooked when it comes to this linebacking group, but Jonathan Jackson not here tonight. Still recovering from an injury he suffered against West High. 3rd down and 3. As Walnut looks to get the offense the ball back to try to stop this shutout. Harris playing his man way off the line on 3rd and 3. Back to pass, and they throw that way. It's caught for a first down. That was Isaiah Smith, junior wide receiver from Milford, making that catch on the short pass from Bodley for the first down. He got to about the Walnut Hills 41. Vargas creeps up to the line. And he's back to pass again. Bodley across the middle makes the catch at the 45 and races to about the 48. That is Nolan Birch with his 2nd catch of the game. It'll be 2nd and short for this Milford offense. And we got a big whistle. Running clock stops at 9:45, and we'll see what that's all about. Clock runs again. It's 2nd down and 2 after that 8-yard pickup by Nolan Birch on the pass from Bodley. Donovan Gale still in the game, as well as Jared Ross and Xander Hargis and other starters, but some backups as well. Bodley, hands off, and he fumbles the snap. Evans couldn't get a grasp on it, and the ball it's going to stay with Milford. Evans did not get back to the line of scrimmage after receiving that handoff. It'll be 3rd and about 4. Luke Brand has not played a snap in the second half after scoring on all 6 of his drives in the first half. Neither have Jordan Davis or Caden Bailey. And now Bodley goes under center. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. Bodley looks to the left side. It is caught by Birch at the 40. Cuts through about the 35 and finally pushes his way forward. 5 Eagles need to stop him as a penalty flag flies in the backfield. They're getting chippy over there. Birch got to about the 30, but they got chippy in the backfield. Christian Parker Rowe up at the front of it, along with several white jerseys. We'll see what this penalty does. Running clock stop for the penalty at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Birch was tackled at about the Walnut Hills 30 by, among others, Jordan Harris. They will have offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. They gave one to Parker Rowe and one to one of the Milford players, so no change there. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Milford at the Walnut Hills 30 as the running clock starts up again. As now Jake Dixon enters the game for Milford. Someone whose number ends in a 6. And we got a whistle. Chief Benjamin Miles is on the field talking to a referee as play was stopped with the running clock at 7:27. Milford's Walnut Hills subs in a new player. This is Stevie Gordon to play some defensive tackle. Normally plays offensive tackle, but he'll play defensive tackle alongside senior Fender Sardo, with Donovan Gale subbed out of the game. Coleman still on the edge. 1st and 10 from the 30. Bodley taking his time. Now gets the snap in. We got a whistle and a false start on Milford. It'll be a 5-yard backup. 1st and 15. Clock continues to run. Dawes Harden continue to get extended run at free safety. The running back into the game is Jackson Hopkins, sophomore for Milford, wearing number 16. Bodley takes the snap, hands to Hopkins, and he breaks through a tackle of Gordon, and he is tackled by Xander Hargis at about the Walnut Hills 26. Get a cheer from the Walnut sideline, but it'll be a 4-yard gain for Hopkins to the Walnut Hills 26, 2nd down and 6, as the running clock goes to 6 minutes. Hopkins shifts to the right leg of Bodley. 1 receiver left, 3 right. Walnut creeps up the line. Here comes the blitz. Hopkins gets the handoff left to the 25 to the 20, and that's where he's taken down in front of the 20 by defensive back Jordan Harris, picking up a Milford 1st down to the 19. As this Milford offensive line continues to make big running lanes for all 3 of their running backs today. Timeout called by Milford. Running clock at exactly 5 minutes. Not many highlights for Walnut tonight, besides the first play of the game where Colin Ross bounced a ball off of a Milford player's foot. Jeremiah Thornton recovered it, and that gave Walnut the ball. Unfortunately, Rivers would fumble it just 2 plays later, and four plays was all it took for Milford to take the lead and never look back. One thing leads to another down 38-0. Donovan Gale re-enters the game in place of Fender Sardo. Harden and Harris remain at free safety. 5 minutes to play in the ball game, as Jaden Bodley sits in the shotgun with 3 receivers right and 1 left, and his 2nd drive as a Milford Eagle. Walnut crowds the line. Bodley in no rush. 1st and 10 from the 19. Bodley, high snap, goes over the head of Hopkins. He has to follow it, but it's recovered by the Walnut Hills. High snap, Hopkins just needed a fall on it, but he tried to pick it up, and Braylon Coleman rushed in and recovered the fumble. And the Walnut Hills offense got one more crack at trying to score some points. Ball is spotted at the Walnut 27, that with the clock running at 4 minutes. Almost every first teamer except Austin still out there. Austin has not played a snap in this second half. 4 minutes and counting as Rivers lines up in a double wing formation. Takes the snap, hands Simeon Robinson up the middle. 30, 35. Robinson mounts out of the 40. Robinson to the 45 and across midfield, and finally taken down. A penalty flag at the end of the play. Simeon Robinson, his first big rush as a Walnut Hills Eagle, puts Walnut in the Milford territory pending this penalty flag. That was at the very end of the play, and it's going to be a personal foul on Milford. So in one play, Walnut gets very far in the field. A big play by Simeon Robinson and a penalty at the end of it. Ball spotted on about the 30 of Milford. Walnut sends in Fight Master at tight end. Rivers in an empty set. He motions a man across the line. It's Thornton. Rivers gonna roll right and hand it off. Does not go anywhere. They gave it to Robinson. He ran in the middle and did not go very far, maybe 3 or 4 yards. They'll give him 4 yards. It's 2nd and 6 at about the 27-yard line. 2:55 in the game and counting. Walnut looks to break up the shutout and take a little bit of momentum through to the Turpin game next week. Rivers empty set. Robinson off his left-hand hip. They hand it to Robinson. He goes up the left side, and Robinson bounces out to the left, but he won't have as much success this time. Gains only a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down. Rivers gets the play from the sideline. Clock runs down to 2 minutes. Rivers takes the snap, drops back, rolls right to pass. Rivers looking for Bronson toward the end zone, can't find anything, and now he pitches to Robinson, and Robinson's out of bounds pretty close. That's enough for a 1st down. That was 1st down. It's 2nd down. Ball is about the 2nd and 7 from about the Milford 16 with 90 seconds left in the ball game. Walnut looking to punch it in to avoid being blanked. Lures goes wide left, so does Joshua Thornton. Bronson wide right in a single wing formation. 1:12 to play in the game. Rivers. And we got a flag, and someone jumped on the Eagles. Rivers was going to hand it off to Robinson. As the clock down to a minute. They could also send in Colin Ross, who has not attempted a field goal in his Walnut career, but he was perfect on extra points last week. Same formation, single wing, 2 left, 1 right. They hand it to Robinson. He tries to make a man miss and can't. He is tackled at about the 23-yard line. Coach Miles has all 3 timeouts to use. It's 2nd and 12. Make it 3rd and 12. 30 seconds to play. Walnut's huddling up. They break the huddle. Trips right. Bronson alone to the left. They get it set up in a pistol. 17 seconds. Rivers back to pass. Rivers under pressure. Rolls out right. Stays on his feet. Rivers still on his feet. Rivers now throws toward the end zone looking for Bronson. And he can't make a one-handed catch. 5 seconds left. 4. And a whistle blows. Coach Miles will use one of his timeouts. The clock rolls down to 1 second. And Walnut will have one final shot to punch it in here. One second to play. 38-0 is the score. Walnut on the Milford 23. This will be the final play of the game. Walnut huddles up. Thornton and Lures go out to the left. So does Bronson, and Jeremiah Thornton goes out to the right. Walnut in the pistol for this final play. Rivers back to pass. Rivers, pressured, rolling right. Rivers, trying to run it himself, to the 5. Rivers, to the goal line! And he is stopped short at about the 1. Just shy of the goal line, and Walnut Hills will not be able to break the shutout. Milford wins this one, 38-0. On a cloudy night at Mark Stadium. The defending champions come into Mark Stadium and blank the Eagles for 48 minutes. Luke ran through 2 touchdowns. Jordan Davis ran for 2. Caden Bailey caught 2. Nothing for Walnut. Rivers, no touchdowns, 1 interception and a lost fumble. Walnut will look to bounce back from this game. Next Friday, September 6th, they'll take on Turpin here at the Nut House. Your final score tonight, Milford 38, Walnut Hills 0. This has been Walnut Hills Football on the Sportscasting Channel.